And here we are once again, live on the Temptations Beach Facebook page, as we are every Wednesday at noon for the High Noon Hemp Show. I am Joe Clare. Of course, the man himself, Beach, live from Hemp Quarters. How are things, Beach?
Beach. Joe? So excited you said my name so many times. You know, they say people really like that. No, things are good here in Hemptations land, Hemptationsville, as the holidays commercials like to say. We are here, season 2, episode 3 of the High Noon Hemp Show. As my partner in crime over there, Joe Clare, said, I am Beach, and you are watching.
Good for you.
And so, yeah, right. Good for you. Either now or sometime in the future.
Yes, anytime is good.
So, but the big news this week is they are 2/4, I guess, halfway through getting the newest farm bill with the industrial hemp being taken off the controlled substance list done. House overwhelmingly passed it yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. A lot of pictures of Mitch McConnell putting his signature on it using a hemp pen. And so that was kind of fun. All the hemp world, it was one of these hemp pens, but and so the hemp world was really eating that up. As far as I know, it'll probably could be voted on today, or the next round's today, or maybe tomorrow. And then the president is expected to sign it. So that's very exciting, very exciting. We weren't sure if it was going to get done this year, but it's going to be considered probably, unless the president doesn't sign it until 2019. I don't know why he wouldn't. It will be the 2018.
He's very busy.
He is very, very busy. Misspelling, I think that the latest misspelling error does in fact affect our world, because I do feel like smocking, or to take a smock break, is going to soon be used by all of the smockers in the world. And so those of you that don't know what the president did, instead of spelling smoking in his tweet, he misspelled smoking twice in the same tweet by spelling it SMOCK.
Yes. Lack of proofreading is odd.
That one there is quite amazing. I think that one there is gonna live in infamy, because it's just gonna be bigger in the smoking world, in my opinion. Probably that's the smocking world, as we'll call it now. And of course, it's a smock. We all know what a smock is. It's like a garment you wear. And I did see someone posted something about Urban Dictionary had the definitions of smocking, and it's like painting yourself naked or something. I don't even want to go there, but anyway, that's kind of fun. But that being said, yes, and the good thing about, and this is why I tend not to read into a lot of things, even though we talked about the felon thing. I believe they removed that out of the actual section. That was the big deal, is that if you had a felony, or a cannabis-related felony specifically, you couldn't get into the federal industrial hemp farming program, which is every state goes through it at this point, blah, blah, blah. But I do believe, I'm pretty sure that they either removed it, or maybe they just put certain time restraints on it. I'm not sure, but I think it ended up being better there under those circumstances. But the big deal is industrial hemp, if it is again, registered industrial hemp cultivar, they won't have to go through the DEA to get it taken off the controlled substance list to grow it. They just has to go to the Department of Agriculture in a state where it's legal. And again, Ohio, we are not legal. I would suspect that, someone asked me if we could be growing in Ohio next spring. And, we got one step closer, I think. We have 3 months for the for Ohio to legalize hemp in the Department of Agriculture to get the wording out there for, and get those licenses out there available for Ohio farmers. Do I think that's likely? No. But we'll see what happens. This once the president signs the current farm bill, so to speak, that might be enough, but we'll see. There's some really weird stuff going on in the state house when it comes to hemp and some other stuff. And so I don't know. I know there's one thing out there that just, I can't see it ever getting anywhere because it's really bad. And so I think if I saw it right, so somebody was saying that one of the Ohio proposed somethings you'd have to get a license to sell any hemp products, whether it was food or it was really, really just ridiculous. So we'll keep our eye on that and make sure that hopefully that particular piece of junk doesn't get too far as it goes. And so that's pretty much the local stuff, As always, we're always getting in new products for the holidays. Appreciate your holidays wear over there.
Yes.
Rudolph Claire over there. It's Rudolph Claire over there.
Slightly festive today.
Slightly festive.
Yes.
Good. I think slightly festive is just good enough, in my opinion. Anything more than slightly festive could be offensive. All right. Well, we'll just go ahead and move right on into the product spotlights. Speaking of products and stuff for the holidays to get for gifts and for yourself and all that good stuff.
Yes, great gift ideas.
Great gift ideas. If you have an eco-friendly person on your holiday shopping list, then we are a good outlet for that. Plenty of good choices. For all the right reasons. And again, the selection is insane. Honestly, I've said it once and I'll say it again. We have the largest selection of hemp on the planet. And so if you can't find a gift for someone here, then I feel like you just haven't wandered around long enough.
Just haven't looked
so
at it.
Anyway, that's right. This first product, Nature's Gate here, they do shampoo, conditioner, they have a lotion, a body wash. Now I'm pretty sure that at least the shampoo and the conditioner are vegan. And so this is actually, I use these. If vegan is a choice for something, then I use it. I am not a vegan, so to speak. I'm a non-practicing vegan, as we like to say. But the price point on this product is really, really good. Honestly, it's one of the probably better price pointed hemp products in the store. You get a big old jug of it, and it's comparable to honestly going to Walmart and buying yourself shampoo or conditioner, lotion, body wash if you use that. And so we've been carrying these guys for as long since we found them. And again, it's been in my particular shower, both the conditioner and the shampoo. I think since we got them in stock. So that's the Nature's Gate. There you have it. Moving on from that, these guys are kind of new, but been around for a while, and I've been following Wink and Son hemp products. Not only is the owner of the store, obviously it's a hemp store. They're actually a hemp store and a skateboard store, which I think is really cool. They have they just moved into a new location over in the Wheeling, West Virginia area. These are some of their backpacks. All their stuff comes from Nepal. And so, if you've seen the Nepalese hemp, it is less expensive. These guys are doing it right. I have seen Nepalese hemp that was not of the best quality. But this is as much a family business as anything. His daughter travels to Nepal, making sure that the sources are not only up to their standards, but fair. I believe they're, I think they're trying to make, I don't know if they're, fair trade, but I think they're trying to be fair to the Nepalese people as much as they can, because they will work for practically nothing if you give them the opportunity. And that's why they get taken advantage of in those third world countries. That doesn't mean that you have to take advantage of them. That just means that they normally do get taken advantage of. So finding, that's the fair trade part of a product. If it's coming from a third world country, you want to try to make sure that it's a fair trade. Or, I don't know, we don't really look for that from stuff coming from China, but we should, because I don't think the people of China necessarily get reimbursed as much as they should for the products that they make. We all know that. And that I'm sure that affects the hemp industry, in my opinion. And so, Wink and Son, but I got off track there a little bit, but he is actually a hemp farmer in West Virginia as well. And so kudos to Doug Flight over there, the Wink and Son Hemp Company. Look for their products not only at Hemptations, but wherever you can find them. The next company is a CBD company. This is Medterra. This is American grown. Their CBD comes out of Kentucky. So we know that it is, in fact, federally legal and is an industrial hemp product because it came out of Kentucky. The interesting thing here is they take that CBD and I think they fly it to California and then they put it, they make their product. And then we get it back here in Cincinnati, Ohio. But again, this is American grown, processed, and retailed right here in Cincinnati, Ohio, Hemptations product. And so we like to support that as much as we can. That's for sure. And the last product is the Beeline Hemp Wick. Last week, I think it was, I showed you my hemp plastic hemp wick lighter. And so this is the Beeline. This is organic hemp wick. Again, the purpose of the hemp wick is you light the hemp wick to light your smokable because it's cleaner than inhaling the butane. There is some actually logic to it out there, I believe. And so, obviously you're still burning something. You're burning something extra and inhaling that. But as I have said a lot of times, I will never say that smoking anything is good for us because our lungs were not meant to process smoke. Some things are less harmful for us than others. And then, again, and so, but anyway, so that's the hemp wick. So that's the 4 from the store. You got Nature's Gate, Wink and Son, Medterra, and the Beeline, and then one from my door. This is something I'm particularly proud to carry with me most of the time. Anyone that knows me knows that I usually have a pocket knife on me. Again, I grew up on a small farm, son of a Navy man, grandson of a Navy man, I should say, who always carried a pocket knife as well. But this is not a pocket knife. This comes with actually like a lanyard to hang around your neck. This knife is made in Indiana. This is Kentucky grown hemp in the handle. This came from the first year, the 2014 crops, one of the 2014 crops in Kentucky from Mike Lewis's farm. This was made by, he calls himself Half Breed Knives on Facebook. He's over in Indiana. He is on Facebook. He makes knives for a famous band person, like Motley Crue, or it was like one of the 80s rock bands I know. The guy, whoever he makes the knives for actually has a radio show, and I know he's been on it talking about the knives that he makes. And this is what Nate does over in Indiana is with Half Breed Knives. Again, he's on Facebook, and this is the real deal because it was handmade He is a true blacksmith, so to speak. He doesn't pound, I don't think, as much as he does sharpen. But everything that he makes comes with an edge on it that is made to cut. And that's why inferior knives, as a knife person, I kind of know they don't necessarily come with a sharpness, and your tool is only good as your tool. And so when it comes to knives, you want your knife to be sharp, because when you want to use it, you want it to work as well as possible.
Absolutely.
And so there you have it, folks. The product spotlights. 4 from the store, 1 from my door. Yeah.
Of course,
moving on.
Hemptations.com for locations. If you're in the area, if you're passing through, if you're way far away and you want to get on a plane and come here just to go to the stores, all of those things are acceptable. If
It's true.
you're
It's
so
true.
inclined, and it fits in
We're
your
pretty
budget.
close. The North Side and O'Brienville store are pretty close to the Greater Cincinnati, Kentucky airport. So
There you go. Very easy. Just hop on a plane, maybe a connector
Hop on a
flight.
plane.
Who knows?
yeah, depending where you're coming from, you probably have to connect in Atlanta.
Yes, maybe overnight layover. It's all worth it to come see.
It's all worth it.
stores.
It is.
Speaking
You
of
can
worth
say
it,
you've been in. Go
That's
ahead.
right.
Oh no, this is better. Go right ahead.
I mean, you could lie and say you've been in a store, but don't do that. Actually, go to the store.
No, you can't say you've been in the around the largest selection of hemp unless you've actually done it. But you can say you've done it once you've done it.
Yes, but if you can't, and you're interested in some sort of hemp clothing, well, of course, Beach. He is known for hemp clothing, and he is known for the greatest, most famous, most popular segment in internet history, the beachwear segment. What are you wearing, Beach?
What are you wearing, Beach? Well, today, from head to toe, you will see I've got a Satori hat on. This is one of their older hats. I probably had this hat for going on 10 years or so. It's a kind of a soft hat. From the outside, I look a little dressed up, I think. With the hemp hoodlam again. This is the hemp hoodlam pea coat. Last week's was brown. This week's is black. It is cold outside, and so I really enjoy my hemp hoodlam stuff in the winter because it keeps me warm. We mentioned the Wink and Sun products during the product spotlight. Well, there is a Wink and Sun shirt. So the outside shirt there that I'm wearing, it's kind of a lighter, really light green shirt, is from the Wink and Sun Hemp Company over in West Virginia. The shirt underneath is the Hemp Company from Canada, who's no longer in business, with the old Hemptations University on the front of it. I think it says Hemp U on the back. The jeans are from Just Naturel. I remember mentioning them just recently. I believe I might have worn something from them. So this is a pair of pants from Just Naturel. And again, they haven't been in business for quite a while. But I drag these. I'm trying to drag more pants instead of wearing jeans every day. I'm trying to drag more of my hemp pants out of the closet and wear them. So here's a pair of, they still kind of feel like jeans, but they're kind of some hemp pants from Just Naturel. The I Love Bad boxer briefs. I've worn these before. These are really kind of comfortable, nice boxer briefs. I forget if I found these on Amazon or eBay. I think it was Amazon, actually. And then the Kind Hemp socks, which I featured last week on the product of the day as one of the 4 from the store. So there I am wearing. They have a little kind of water drop on the sock itself, and then the Wicked Hemp boots. And as you can see, the Wicked Hemp boots are not clean because I wear them quite a bit, especially in anytime it's wet out or snowy out or cold out. I like my Wicked Hemp boots, and we do have a little bit of a selection of these in the store, but I'm actually waiting for them to release their newest line so we can get stocked back up on them. So if you woke up this morning and you said to yourself, "What are you wearing, Beach?" Now you know.
And you can go on with your day, with the knowledge
You can.
that you seek.
That you need. What you needed to get you through the day.
Maybe you didn't even know you needed it, but now you know, and now you have it all at the same time, and it's really a satisfying thing. That's why people love
And
it.
if you weren't even expecting it, that's right.
Yes.
You might not have even been expecting that. And there you go. Glorious day.
Absolutely, yeah. That's why people come to the show. That's why it's the most popular segment ever in the history of anything that's ever been digitized through wires. It's a well-earned
We can
reputation.
only hope.
Yes.
We're sticking with that rumor that we are starting, and we're not going to give up on it.
Say it enough. Hey, that's the way it works.
That's right. That's how a word becomes a word. So, all right, moving on to the hemp news segment of the show. Wisconsin, I like this. Wisconsin has pushed their deadline for hemp licenses to March 1st. They did this. They announced this probably a week or so ago, at least a couple weeks, but I don't know if it was anticipation of the farm bill passing, so it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But I see a lot more. That's the other thing that the farm bill passing does is it allows states, Department of Agriculture, to take licenses up to a later date because, again, they no longer have to worry about the 90 days that the DEA could take to approve the seed. And so with that being gone, we're looking at a much less turnaround approval time. And hopefully that could be within weeks. Like, we get to June and we're ready to put hemp seeds in the ground or how it goes. And the week before you decide, and you can go to the Department of Agriculture and say, hey, I want to do this. That's the goal, to make it as easy as just doing it. We're not quite there. I think that this will, this will help get us to the next step, and hopefully, maybe the next step it would just be like it's like equal to lettuce, as they like to say, free as lettuce. That's the real goal: is to be able to go down to the farmer seed guy and buy your industrial hemp seed and put it in the ground and sell it to the people when the crop comes up, like you do every other crop, if that's what you do for a living. And I think that would help. I mean, I think it is helping get young people interested in farming again.
Yeah.
We'll see. This is interesting. A racehorse has recently tested positive for CBD. Now, this was also new to the racehorse people that I'm actually, this just happened within the week, I think. I'm still waiting to see what they're really going to come out of it. They were implying from the article, and this is what I think is funny, is that because of its anti-inflammatory and because of its ability to clarify, make the animal more clear, so to speak, it's in fact a enhancing substance, so to speak. And so that's right, give your horse this all natural substance is in fact cheating because it helps your horse so much. Okay, I'm going to say it one more time. Giving your horse this all natural substance is cheating because it helps the horse so much. That's what they're implying. Right. So if you don't have a racehorse, that gets drug tested, look into CBD for making your horse giving it a better life. Right. And of course, we're seeing the shiv, the herd, as we call it, being used as bedding. And so it's kind of funny, once again, it's completely okay to put this, again, all natural, antimicrobial, antibacterial, all the good antis down for the horse to lay on, or stand on, I should say. Horses don't really lay a whole lot, to be honest with you. That's okay. But CBD, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And I don't remember, it did mention something about THC, but they didn't think that I think what they were implying is the horse people aren't interested in the THC because they don't think that the buzz is worth the advantage of the medical properties of THC. But apparently CBD, because, helps the horses focus, and it helps with any inflammation issues or things like that. All of a sudden, CBD is in fact a sports enhancing substance. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the horse racing world and CBD. It really is going to be interesting. So those are kind of some fun, couple good, interesting things going on with industrial hemp in the world out there news wise. Here are the events. The January 11th, you've got the Colorado Winter Hemp Summit. This is a one-day event in Fort Collins. You can go to winterhempsummit.com and get more information on that. Pretty sure this is Morris Spiegel, the NOCO person that's doing this, and so they do quite a bit in the hemp world. That is for sure. January 12th, you've got the history of hemp in Big Rapids, Michigan. So again, anytime you put history and hemp in the same word, that could be interesting. So if you're around the Big Rapids, Michigan area, that's going to be fun. We're getting semi-close to the Asian Hemp Summit in Kathmandu. That's you can go to hemptoday.net and get more information on that, February 1st and 2nd, as well as the Deep Green Building Project in Poland, February 21st through the 23rd. That's hemptoday.net for more information on those events. February 25th, we've got the Central U.S. Growers Conference and Expo in Rochester, Minnesota. Not the famous Rochester in the world, but the
less famous
Minnesota is it's the lesser famous known Rochester. But that's February 25th. Again, that's the Central U.S. Hemp Growers Conference and Expo. So you can probably find more information on that online. That's all I have for them right now. Speaking of NOCO 6 has released their dates for NOCO 6, which will be happening March 29th and 30th in Denver, Colorado. You can go to NOCO, hempexpo.com for more information there. They are putting a lot of hemp people in the same room. And I've been doing that obviously for 6 years now. This is NOCO 6. So how about that? I think I was at NOCO 2 or NOCO 3 maybe. And it was when it was in, I believe, Fort Collins. I think it's moved to a larger location because it's gotten so big. And it was pretty big then, to be honest with you. And then you've got the National Hemp Expo in Louisville, April 13th and 14th. Again, this is they've got a Facebook event through Kentucky Hempganics. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I am going to try to make that on the 14th of April if I can. And so that's the news. That's the events portion of the show. We're going to move on to the last segment here.
Of course, not as famous as the "What Are You Wearing" Beach segment, but maybe a close second.
Almost though.
Yes,
could be. It's we're getting more questions if we're doing posting things right.
Indeed,
that's for sure.
The Ask Beach Anything segment. Obviously, if the obvious wheelhouses, hemp, CBD, things in the hemptation stores, things like that. But really, you can ask Beach anything at all, and if he can answer it, he will. And if he can't, he'll give it an attempt in the spirit of being on the show.
That's right.
Take a whack at it in any case.
if it's worthy of asking, it may be worthy of answering somehow. Most of our questions this week actually come more on the medicinal / personal use. Gary asks, how does one procure a medical marijuana card in Ohio? Well, Gary, they did just open up the card program. So now you can take your recommendation. So what you really have to do is you have to go to a doctor. You still have to get the recommendation. And then you file the paperwork, and I don't know if you print out a card or they mail you the card. I believe they mail it because I did see someone posted their card. So I think they mail you your card, and then you go to none of one of the dispensaries that are open, and stand out front and wait for possibly months until they do open.
There you go. Have your card ready
now
for when they do open.
Have your card ready. It does kind of lead into my second question, ironically enough, that comes from Andrew. And Andrew has two questions that are two different questions. But his first question is I heard dispensaries in Michigan were accepting Ohio medical letters and cards. Do you know if there is any truth to this? This was true before Michigan stepped in and started changing the licensing program up there. I'm not saying that there may not still be dispensaries that would take cards. I don't know. We may have to look into it. And Joe, you may actually know if the new program is reciprocate. Some medical marijuana state programs are reciprocal, where again, if you have a card in one state, then you can go into their state and use it. Some are not. Ohio, I do not believe will be a reciprocal, to be honest with you, because we have this silly minimal list of requirements to get the card, and so it's much easier to get a card in California. So Ohio's definitely not going to take it. Yeah. Now the fact is our card probably will be accepted in other states because it's so hard to get. Blah blah blah. So I am not positive under the new medical programs whether it is actually Michigan is playing the reciprocal card game or not under the old one, and there may still, once again, not all the old school dispensaries in Michigan are closed yet, but they are doing their best to close in a lot of markets in Michigan, and then issuing their own state license, blah blah blah.
I'm not sure of the specifics about whether or not they take other states. I do know that they legalized medical marijuana in 2008, and then for like 8 years, things were kind of wild and quote unquote, unregulated or whatever. And then 2016, the legislature put on regulations, and all through this year, basically, they've been pushing back deadlines. They'll set a deadline saying, "Hey, well, if you don't get this in by this deadline, you can't." And then there'll be a court ruling or something else, so to push it back another 90 days, and it's continued to be pushed. So you're right. There's a lot of dispensaries up there that haven't exactly done what was that they were told to do, whether it was reasonable or unreasonable. They just didn't get it done in time, but they've been given reprieves because to shut down, most of the dispensaries would obviously hurt a lot of patients. But there's a brand new website that combined recreational medical under one agency in Michigan. So there's a brand new website up there that answers like all the medical marijuana questions and all that stuff. So.
And I suppose for that being said, although it would technically be illegal for you to bring your personal use, obviously that personal use market is opening up. And so, if the medical dispensaries were not reciprocal, obviously they will have personal use medicine, so to speak, that you should be able to go and purchase without a card. So they've got that going for them in Michigan. Andrew's second part of his question is there anywhere in Ohio where someone can purchase hemp CBD flower? That I don't know of. I am sure that someone in Ohio is selling hemp CBD flower. It's a very good question. This is the one CBD product that I personally have been holding off selling in Ohio, so to speak. I've really, I think that maybe the day after 45 puts his signature on the new farm bill, I will go back to looking into Kentucky grown CBD for flower product. It's kind of still on that fence of a product for me, whereas all of a sudden we're selling a lot of hemp flower, and I'm sure that once we pick it up, our customers will in fact enjoy it. And again, this is industrial hemp, 0.3% or less THC, high CBD, smokable flower. Or vaporable, I should say. Use it in your vape, because vapes are it's a cleaner way to ingest any type of burning material. But and so, in my opinion, if I definitely source it from the right person, it would be 100% legal. Now, a bunch of people are running around with hemp flower. I don't know if your local law enforcement is going to look at that and say, sure, looks a lot like something that we don't call hemp. And it is in fact causing a lot of confusion, because this is like a brand new byproduct of industrial hemp that no one was talking about until 5, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So in every other form, it seems a lot less threatening to law enforcement, in my opinion. In flower form, it may be a little bit not.
Maybe some confiscations happening.
Yeah, again, taking it either way, saying, well, I don't care if you say it's legal either way. I'm taking this CBD. And so I could see some issues there. And so we've kind of held off. And again, I've been thinking about it for years, because I had a connection a couple years ago of some Kentucky hemp grown flower, and I put some thought to it, and going back and forth. And so, again, I'm sure someone's selling it in Ohio, and hopefully maybe next year, here's to selling some industrial hemp CBD flower at Hemptations in 2019. The new farm bill passes, and I think we are definitely in a place where, not that I don't think I'm in a place right now to argue the legality of all the hemp products that we sell, because once again, everything we sell is in fact legal as an industrial hemp product. And so with the flower, if we got it in, I wouldn't buy it if it was extracted from marijuana, obviously. And only, from someone who I know was registered and it was grown legally. So I'm sure we'll pick up some flower. Again, 2019 will be the year we pick up CBD flower, and we'll go from there. You might have to call around to some places to see. That might be a difficult phone list at this point in Ohio anyway. But we'll see what we can do. And then Nick asked, and I think Nick has asked this before, when will it be totally legal in Ohio? And I think my answer before is honestly, I have no idea. 2 years, the next presidential election could be, in my opinion, the best possible time. I know that, again, there's a group out there that is trying to get the funding together to get a personal use back on the ballot again. And so the current administration and the incoming administration is not going to be privy to the idea. And so it won't be done in the legislatively, that's for sure. Thankfully, because man, there'll be like 5 stores in the whole state that will have a line of 1,000 people every day. But when something's going to get on the ballot again, I honestly cannot predict. Ohio is so weirdly wishy-washy with the whole thing. So
yeah. They'll definitely take a lot of signatures and a lot of funding for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
there was one,
I
was just talking to somebody down in Florida with Regulate Florida for an article. And obviously Florida's bigger than Ohio population-wise, but it's still a populous state. And they're going to need like 1 million signatures down there. And something just like that just can't be undertaken with volunteers. I
Wow.
mean, it's just
No.
too much.
Yeah, we need I think 350, 400,000 in
Yeah.
Ohio under the current 5% rule, so to speak. Florida's is probably like 10% of their population even. Because it's different from state to state as to, and Florida definitely has some wacky stuff.
Yeah.
And
If you think
so,
you're going to get that many signatures without paid signature gatherers and some
oh
kind of
yeah,
organization is
yeah.
just this is not going to
Yeah.
happen.
No, I can tell you exactly how many signatures you can get without big money, and that's maybe 100,000 because that's what the org did, the Ohio Rights Group,
Yeah.
back in the day, and that's honestly over a couple years,
Yeah.
of trying to do it. But yeah, without any money, you might get 150,000, but you probably have to have a million or two to get 500,000. That's probably the minimum.
Yeah.
I know they spent 8 or 10 or 15. I forget what it was for issue 3.
It was a lot.
And they got well into the 400,000, I think, with that. But that seems like, again, like an amazing amount. It's not like they got 1 million signatures for that amount of money. But you got to have 1 million or two. It's true. You are absolutely correct. To get, no matter how much the people want it to be done or believe in it, you got to pay people to get those signatures. And again, I think the issue 3 people, some of the issue 3 people are still trying to figure out. And I think that's why it's taking so long. They were going to try to turn around in a year or so, and then they thought, well, wait a minute, we need to we need to build these funds back up because we just spent all this money in Ohio and they failed us miserably. And so, I think that's going to be the case now, as well as it's a funding issue. And, and in 2 years, if we can get the funding, I think that would be the best election to try to get it back on the ballot again. But I don't know. I cannot predict that. So only time will tell to what's going to happen in Ohio when it comes to cannabis, in all respects, for the most part.
We'll do what we can do here for our part.
That's right.
Use our influence.
We use our influence as much as we can on the High Noon Hemp Show or at hemptations.com. Because you can go there and get more information and stuff about the stores, the events that I post or that I talk about on the show. I have 2 pages of events. The Hemptations events are all on one page. Oh, and I keep forgetting this, but I'm going to be in Richmond, Kentucky, the first Friday of January, and I'll get a location and a time on this. I'm going to be doing my hemp thing at the group is called Drinking Liberally. So this will be at a bar. This will be for 21 and older. And this will be mostly a liberal crowd. Be interesting to see if the conservatives show up to hear me talk about hemp and all the things hemp and whatnot. But that should be fun. This, for those that don't know, Richmond is what I consider my hometown. I grew up in a small farm right outside of Richmond, Kentucky. And so this will be a return to my hometown 30 years later, since I left. 30 years since I left to educate on industrial hemp. I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Awesome.
Okay, well, that being said, I think we're going to call it a day here at the High Noon Hemp Show. As always, folks that watch live, we truly appreciate you being there. And for all the folks that are watching not live, we truly appreciate that as well.
Yes, hello, Robert.
So to all our viewers, I did see that. What's up, Kalowski? Good to see you out there, my brother. He is a hemp warrior. Literally a vet fighting for all things cannabis. And so, yes. All right, folks, remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations
Indeed. See you next week. Peace.